Lesser known rainbow labels, they might just fit you better than you think. You may be saying to yourself, I'm just a gay man, or I'm just a bi woman, or I'm just enby and queer. But trust me, there are unique labels that could add a brand new layer to your identity, and some of them might be just really helpful in many ways. Hey legends, so you'll need a pen or pencil because today, after you watch this video, you'll look at all this orientation craziness in a brand new way, I promise. Has Samantha ever lied to y'all? Never. Okay, I suggest we start with umbrella terms that might or might not fit you. If you're a bit lost, some of these newly arrived terms are orientations, others are genders, some of them are not really orientations or genders, but rather attraction identities. So here's the first pair of umbrella terms we're about to dissect now. Allosexuals and asexuals. I bet you've heard the term asexual, aka ace, but you probably didn't know it's actually the umbrella term that has many other ones under it. If you've never considered yourself asex, it means you're allosexual. So here's when you want to add the first lesser known term, as it probably fits you. It fits Samantha. I am very much allo. Term allo was coined by the asex community, kind of like how cis was coined by the trans community. For example, if you identify as gay and feel sexual attraction to other people, if you enjoy hookups or regular backs with your partner, you know, backs, then you're probably allo. Now you may be asking, why do we even need this term, girl? Asex people do exist. The aspec crowd isn't just about not wanting backs. It's actually very interesting and multi-dimensional. Using allosexual raises awareness about the asexual community and the diversity of human sexuality. But I am not asex. Samantha is all about being allo. I'm a up enthusiast, which I think should totally be an official label too. We will discuss some terms within the aspec, but later on in this video. These next two umbrellas are even more interesting. They're really helpful in terms of not just categorizing people as gay or straight. I'm talking about andro and gynasexual. You're gynasexual if you're attracted to what we generally think of as femininity. This means you might be into girls like Britney or girls like Jodie. You could also be attracted to trans girls like Samantha Lux or Laverne Cox. And hey, even guys like Jeffree Star or any other femme-presenting folks might turn you on too. The cool thing is that you don't have to be a man to identify as gyna. Women can be gynasexual as well. And so can non-binary people. So your bags doesn't really matter when it comes to describing your orientation towards others. Same goes for androsexual. I am one. So I'm attracted to guys like George Clooney, for instance. I have a cis friend, she's a straight girl, and she's androsexual too, because she's into all things masculine too. So girl, I've got 3 terms that fit me. How's your list looking for now? Will you share it with me in the comments below, girl? Last but not the least when it comes to umbrella, so here's this next pentacotomy. 5 terms closely related: bi, pan, poly, multi, omni. And now you might be like, how is the bi term a lesser known one? Like, there's so many people who identify as bi. There's a bi pride flag, there's a bi visibility day, biphobia. What lesser known is the fact that the term bi doesn't actually mean you're drawn to Megan Fox and Brad Pitt to the same degree. You know, this term's history is very complicated. Originally, it didn't even have anything to do with an attraction or an orientation. It used to mean possessing characters of both sexes and especially both male and female reproductive structures. For example, usually the sexes are separate, but some plants bear bisexual flowers at different times of the year, and these may suddenly become exclusively female. It also related to humans, and I guess no one any longer is using the term bi in that sense. But for real, bi used to mean what probably intersex means today, right? Anyways, the modern day definition of bi is the potential to be attracted romantically and or sexually to people of more than one gender, not necessarily at the same time, not necessarily in the same way, and not necessarily to the same degree. So, girl, I think I'm bi. Like for real. Recently I realized I'm sometimes attracted to trans men. I think this definition of bi is very beautiful because it's very inclusive. You know, I cannot see how aspec people, enby people, trans folks, and even far-righters obsessed with leaving comments like there's only male and female on the internet may be offended by this definition. No one can, it really pleases everyone, doesn't it? Sorry? Oh, pansexuals are being offended. The broader meaning of bi can be understood as occupying the same semantic territory as pansexual. That's true, these terms are very similar. There are people who identify as one but not the other, like I'm bi but I'm not pan, or I'm pan but I'm not bi, as well as people who identify as both. Isn't it the beautiful way to come to compromise, girl? By the way, how's your list going? Samantha is now bi, but she's not pan. So pan is an attraction to all genders. It's also known as gender blind. I think this term is also not lesser known, right? In my opinion, this term is cool, but not very friendly with logic, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many people out there. How can you be attracted to all of them? Anyways, the term pan is very valid and cool, and you can use as many terms as you want. Maybe you just love the sound of pan, right? And here's some Samantha allowing herself being panphobic. Kidding. Poly, omni, and multi. So I guess multi is like the opposite of mono. Like if you're just gay, you're probably mono. If you're gay and, for instance, trans attracted, you're probably multi. Anyways, multi is like the umbrella for umbrellas, like for real. Even though, of course, some people may use it as their number one term. Why not? Omni is actually harder to grasp, at least for me. Like when I read here on LGBTQIAfandom.com is, oh my god, it's as difficult as rocket science. Luckily, my commenters eased that for us. Omni is an attraction to gendered features, but not necessarily the full gender of a person. I don't think I'm omni, even though I like beards, for instance. Like it's definitely a plus for me in terms of my excitement, but I'm not sure. This rainbow teacher says pan is when you see all people panoramically, as in you're attracted to all genders and don't have a preference. And omni is you also have attraction to all genders, but you can have a preference. So it's complicated, but I love the sound of omni, it sounds mysterious. Alright, and the last one is poly, aka polysexuality. Poly means many, doesn't mean all as in pan and omni we've just covered. You're just attracted to any number of genders between at least two or many. Another difference is that pansexuals are gender blind. Gender does not play a role in forming their attraction, while poly, like gender, often does play a role for them. So, girl, I think I'm like poly or ply, but I'm not sure. How's your list doing? Besides that, my commenter says this: poly is an attraction to many genders, but not usually the binary genders, man and woman. And I'm like, more attracted to men like George Clooney, and he has never stated he's like enby or something. Anyways, my commenter might be mistaken. What do you think? Type in the comments. Now let's talk about lesser known orientations, not just gay or straight. So sapiotexual probably won't surprise you. Attraction to smart people. I think I cannot say I'm sapio, but some of y'all might be, right? So let's take a look. You're attracted to highly intelligent people so much so that you consider it the most important trait in a partner. For just a hookup though. That trait is totally not a turn-on for me. But if I were the relationship-seeking type, I think I would want my partner, you know, to be a kind of person who can solve a Rubik's Cube while reciting Shakespeare. So that kind of brain power would probably matter more to me. Just not when it comes to a certain room in our apartment. Like, you don't really have to be too smart to be cool at that thing in that room, you know what I mean? Here's the most interesting version, so to speak, of Sapio. Sometimes intelligence trumps everything and makes gender irrelevant. For real, for some people, it's not just a tiny detail in their preferences. It can be the whole orientation that even excludes homo and hetero. I guess some of y'all have already expanded your list. Even though I don't consider Sapio an umbrella term, you might be under somewhat Sapio umbrella if you're, for instance, against backs with stupid people. Hey, are you still feeling skeptical? Like all that nonsense is for Gen Z, I'm too old for that? That's okay, I used to feel the same way before I decided to take a serious view of it, and I am obviously not very young.
Princess Kitana's 10,000 years old.
Morosexual, you're attracted to people with a low level of intelligence. Shall we mention that moro is derived from moron?
You moron.
This term used to make waves across fandoms on the internet, and it gave birth to lots of memes and Reddit threads. Take a look. You are now a morosexual. What words would make you stimulated in an instant? You can see that I used stimulated as a euphemism. Here are some replies to this Reddit question. Make America great again, irregardless, espresso, hi Sabrina. I'd like to see the manager, God forbid this, so like, yeah. Even though people on the internet never took the term moral seriously, I'd like to repair this injustice. Let's get real. The idea of an extremely silly blonde girl giving you something, you know, the big thing, giving you glow, let's say, has always been one of the top things cis-men search for on corn, websites. Websites that spread information about corn, agriculture and stuff. Not really. I know it's very political, potentially offensive and even discriminatory, but this peculiarity in people's attraction exists. Some people do desire to have Rex, other Jurassic Park lovers here. So some people do desire to have Rex with extremely silly partners. For some reason it's a turn on for many. And corn site search results are proof. Here's a gay example of it. I really love hookups with people who are not very well educated. Those whose vocabulary is a bit street-ish, hood-ish. People who make lots of grammar mistakes while texting. That's a plus, a turn on for me. Bad boys, you know what I mean? Samantha finds bad boys very hot. But the funniest part is that they probably don't want to know that I sometimes identify as moral. Because if they're stupid, which is a very subjective term, a construct of populism, I'd say. So if they're stupid, they might not be too happy to learn that I consider them that way. So they might seem stupid in my head, but in reality they're not. They just have their own backgrounds. And I enjoy that very much indeed. I think I've just destroyed the very concept of the morosexual identity. I love no such encounters with guys who have not read too many books in their lives, whose, life philosophies aren't too deep. Those spared from the burden of thought, so to speak. For some reason, they tend to be naturally cool at that thing, that thing. You thought you knew it all? Think again. These next terms are wild and will leave you speechless. Veramoric. Non-binary attraction to man exclusively. I love the way veramoric sounds. And as I'm enby myself, I find the term veramoric very helpful. The term gay allegedly applies that you're a man attracted to other men, right? But I'm not a man, so how can I be gay? I really love thinking of the term gay as the super umbrella term for like everything, like all things rainbow. So yeah, the term veramoric is very helpful. I love this term, as well as feminomoric, non-binary attraction to women exclusively. Marsic, non-binary attraction to man and masculine aligned individuals exclusively. Hey, doesn't Marsic sound extremely cute? So cute, oh my god. Like imagine yourself saying, hi, I'm Sam, I'm enby, and I'm Marsic. This is so cute, definitely cuter than saying, hi, I'm Sam and I'm a gay man. So you won't see the term man here on my list, girl. But I really want to add Veramoric. Maring, and Marsic. Some of these non-binary terms are extremely controversial though, like terraric, non-binary attraction to non-binary individuals exclusively, and enby, non-binary attraction to non-binary individuals exclusively or not, like girl. Shouldn't we first agree officially upon what non-binary means? I can easily explain what it means to me. It'll take like 10-15 seconds. Count. I just hate seeing to what disastrous exodus the usage of the words man and woman in this world has come. You know, society puts certain expectations on you just because of these words. It's not about biology, it's only about linguistics. Stop using words man and woman and everyone will live happier. The term non-binary is not a final solution though. At its essence, the term is negative. It's coming from negativity, non-binary. So it's not really offering something new. So the term non-binary is just a temporary solution. That's it. Sorry, not really 10 seconds, but I guess 20, right? I know I read and I speak very slowly, but this is a long-form content, girl. I'm not a TikToker. Like, what I mean is that you're supposed to have some free time and spend it in a relaxed vibe and mood with me, with Samantha. But some of y'all probably find the terms terraric and enby very helpful. You might be like, that's me, that's my term, and I really want to hear from y'all. Like, what do you mean? Is that attraction to some crazy looks and styles? You know, attraction to some kind of alien outfits? You know, in your potential partner, so please share your thoughts in the comments below, girl. Meanwhile, legends, we're about to take a look at some more mainstream terms like hetero-flexible and homo-flexible. I've talked about umbrella labels like bi and omni potentially fitting me, but if I'm being completely honest, the term homo-flexible feels like an even better fit. So it means you primarily experience attraction to the same gender, but have very occasionally tendencies to be attracted to other genders. So like, I could picture myself in bed with like Megan Fox. Not exactly thrilled about it though. So Megan, sorry, it's only happening if say Matt McGorry joins us. Then there's hetero-flexible, which I love seeing in men. I genuinely think that the future is in their hands. The future is in the hands of hetero-flexible men. Those are the guys who aren't afraid to explore new horizons beyond just cis women. You know, they're open to connections with enbys like Samantha, with trans folks, or even other guys. So to all you hetero-flexible men, don't be shy about asking Samantha on a date. So this term mostly applies to so-called straight people, but hetero-flexible isn't just about men. Plenty of women are hetero-flexible too. Honestly, I think that couples who are open to swinging are hetero-flexible. Straight doesn't quite capture that vibe, but that's just my opinion. You know, these days calling yourself straight can feel a bit limiting. Like, haven't you ever felt a spark, romantic, or even a hint of lust for a friend of the same gender? That alone puts you somewhere under the rainbow umbrella. Seriously, where are the truly straight people? Are they the ones who've never let themselves have any stray thoughts or curiosities? Boring. But hey, that's just my take. In the end, everyone should label themselves in whatever way feels right. Genders. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. This topic is the heart of why debates about identity can get so charged, and I have zero wish to take part in it. I'm working on a documentary titled How Many Genders Are There? In this film, I want to explore all perspectives and remain unbiased. If you'd like to support my content creation, donations through crypto are very appreciated, and you can also contribute via Patreon or buy me a coffee. The last but certainly not least category for today is what I call attraction identities or attraction mood. This is where I place terms like demisexual, for instance. And I've already managed to offend someone from the A-spec with my previous video. Legends, I'm not here to dismiss your experiences. Feel free to share them in the comments below. And let's not take offense too easily, okay? So we have terms like demi, fray, litexual, ossi, sexual, also known as bossy, romantic, and egosexual. Here's my theory. These labels are definitely not genders. I also don't think they qualify as orientations because you aren't specifically oriented to anyone. For instance, with sapiosexuality, you're attracted, oriented to clever people. Or with being gay, you're attracted to people same as you. I also don't see these 5 terms as umbrella terms, so I call them attraction identities. Anyways, all of these labels are valid and quite helpful in many ways. 2 of them have already helped me, I'll talk about it in a second. So demisexuality is when you only feel attracted to someone after you've built a strong emotional connection with them. In some extreme cases, you might not even know if you're attracted to someone or not just by looking at their pics on a dating app because you don't know the person yet. Like you haven't really seen their personality. Some demi-folks are kind of straight, others are gay or bi. Well, as far as I know, most demi-folks don't really care about the person's gender. It's all about the personality for them. I'm not demi though. I love the way it sounds, but I'm not demi. I identify as aromantic. Can aromantic people actually be demi? Probably not. But let me know if you have a different perspective on this. Like, can aerofolks be demi? Hey, you know what? Actually, this might be an orientation. Like, being demi means you're attracted to someone, apparently someone your brain takes as a good person, broadly speaking. So, alright, let's call it both an orientation and attraction identity. The opposite would be phraseexuality, a schmexual identity, where people feel strong attraction towards strangers but lose it with those they know well. I am phraseexual 100%, and this is one label that very much helped me understand my experiences better. I almost never stay interested in a bisexual encounter with the same man more than once. For real, to be completely honest with y'all, I lose interest in my partner like in 5 minutes after we start the you know what. Like for real, cloth come off, we hug, we touch, I explore his things, you know what I mean? There's a glow, maybe on both sides. And then I'm already dreaming of living. For real. By the way, for you to identify as Frey, your partner doesn't have to be like complete stranger. There are other signs that might indicate that you're Frey. If you'd like, feel free to pause this video for a moment and take a look. So this is why I'm so grateful to have discovered the term phraseexual. I'm thankful that someone even coined this term like a couple of years ago, I guess. So phraseexuals will get it. Anti-amatonormativity folks will get it too. So I have these casual encounters and I genuinely enjoy everything about my partner. Of course, some hookups are better than others, but overall, I'm almost always satisfied and live with good impressions about both the person and the experience. A couple of days later, sometimes the next day, he'll text me something like, "Hey, up for some fun again?" And as you might guess, I'm not interested in meeting up again. But not because I didn't like something about him, but simply because that's just how I am at this point. I am phraseexual, not interested in seeing him more than once. People usually feel hurt and they start thinking, oh, was I bad? Or Samantha didn't like this or that about me. Someone might think I'm just very arrogant person. And I feel like I cannot really convince him that I did enjoy our time. They assume that if I did, I'd want to meet again. If you're in the same boat, here's a tip. Don't try to prove to that person that you really enjoyed everything. Just tell them to Google the term phraseexual. Like maybe they'll get something out of it. That it's not about them or anything they did that makes you not want to meet up again. Egosexuality. It means you enjoy engaging with schmexual content, fantasies, imagining others in bisexual scenarios, but feel little or no desire to be personally involved. One key point often associated with ego is that you may feel a mental separation between the attraction or fantasies and your personal desire to act on them. I feel like I can relate to that a little bit. Like somewhere deep inside I might be ego. I know it's really hard, so I'm leaving the link to the Reddit thread on Ego in the description below. By the way, there's a lot of useful links to all the materials I used in this video. You might also feel under the lead sexual attraction identity. This is when you experience schmexual attraction but do not want it returned. I cannot say I'm 100% lead sexual, but this phenomenon is onto something. As I said in this video, the litho is linked somehow to the phenomenon when you're constantly falling for emotionally unavailable partners. Like, this is interesting. And the last one for today is Aussie. This is when you feel attraction when you first meet someone. Then the attraction fades, then it returns when you get to know the person, and it eventually fades again. So it's like basically the jumble made out of Damien Frey, which is interesting. Sometimes your attraction is really something that defies explanation. Like, it's all complicated, right? So, legends, I'm adding Frey, and I think I'll also add Lit, the last one, just because I'm falling somewhere under the Lit umbrella, you know what I mean? Even though it's not the umbrella term. So, I've got like 9 terms that fit me. 9 terms, 9, maybe 10. How many do you have on your list? So, legends, keep in mind that everything that we've covered today, these are all different words, these are all beautiful words, and you can use as many words as you want to describe yourself and your experiences. Here's my video responsible for offending a number of A-spec folks. I had allegedly said something controversial, something offensive, and I also have a video where I explore the phenomenon of offense in general. I'll see you there in those videos. Don't forget to check all the links in the description below, hit the thumbs up button, and share your thoughts and your lists. How many of these lesser known labels fit you? Thanks for watching. Bye.